Hi, I'm David Wright, NLP trainer and peak performance coach, and the subject that we'd like to cover today is the subject of the mind. But what we'd like to discuss mainly is the two levels of the mind that we're quite familiar with, and that's the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind we're fairly aware of. It's the point of focus, really. It's where we put our attention and we discuss what we want, and we make decisions and so forth, what we think through the conscious mind. Our conscious mind really only does a few things. It rationalizes and it analyzes. It holds our willpower is in the conscious mind, and at the same time our short-term memory. Now this is a very limited part of our mind. It's very small. In fact, you would say it's under 10% of the mind itself. The power in the mind is really from the unconscious level, and the key to that is knowing how to tap into that and knowing how to really work from this power that we all have. And it's just knowing how. And there are ways, there are strategies, and there are ways of communicating with this part of us that's very powerful. Otherwise, as we know in life, when people tell us what to do, we can quite easily be told, oh, you're good at this or you're good at that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And if we don't have our own goals, and we don't really know what we want in life, it's very easy for us to slip into areas of working our way towards something based on what somebody else wants, and then further on down the line looking back and saying, do I really want this? Because the unconscious mind is very powerful, also known as the subconscious. You may have heard it known that way in things like hypnosis, and even in psychology it's known as the subconscious. And basically it's everything that's below your consciousness, the things that you're not really aware of. It's part of our senses, our visual, auditory, kinesthetic, which is our feelings, and our gustatory and olfactory, smell and taste. So it contacts us through the visual sense, but at the same time also through the kinesthetic sense, in interior feelings, and which are basically frequencies. So it speaks to us through the frequencies of emotion. If you're looking to connect to your unconscious mind and direct it to somewhere where you want to go, you need to be connecting in that way, in the language it speaks. It works on the level of frequency. So when we visualize or we make images up, you're directing it which way to go and what it is that you want. And the same goes through frequency. You may have heard the idea of you need to feel the fact that you're already there, that you've already got it. When we understand that we can use our mind to direct our attention through focus and through imagery, and at the same time feeling the feelings. For example, have you ever felt the feeling of being happy, or had a feeling of feeling confident, or even had that feeling of motivation? Well, those feelings that you felt maybe yesterday or many years ago are stored in the unconscious level somewhere. And when we recall them, they all have a representation in there, meaning they all have a visual, an auditory, a kinesthetic, an olfactory, and a gustatory representational system in there. When you can tap into that, there is a feeling around it. So if you had the feeling of success, for instance, many years ago, let's say, so by tapping into that feeling, that image, that picture, what you're doing is you're actually re-experiencing that feeling. So as you focus on something that you want and you access that feeling of the past, through, in essence, connects the vibrational frequency of what it is that you want. This is very powerful, and this is how we can achieve and manifest things much quicker through what it is that we want. Now these all live in the unconscious mind. Your strategies, your patterns of thought, patterns of emotion, they're all stored in there somewhere, and they're accessible. And that's the power of going into the unconscious mind, whether it's through the level of hypnosis or whether it's through NLP from a different angle, and simple psychology as well, depending on which way you're going about it. And there are several ways, as they say, there are many roads to Rome. I'm David Wright, peak performance coach and NLP trainer. Look forward to catching up with you next time.